Hello, beautiful being. Welcome to In Her Dreams and welcome to your reading. I am so grateful that you're taking time to tune in to see what messages are flowing in from Spirit for you. Ashe, thank you, Divine. The word purification was coming through just there. Okay? Purification. Divine says that your consistency with Spirit, your desire to remain close to Spirit is what continues to purify your energy. Your desire to remain on your true path acts as a constant purification process and protection. It gives you protection because this is your desire. This is what you want, is to be close to the divine and to continually activate your divine energy. Your life is a continual ritual. You are sacred. Ashe, thank you, Divine. Thank you. All right, let's see what's coming through this wisdom of the Oracle. Unfinished Symphony. It's funny because this is card 10, but it's Unfinished Symphony, and card 10 is about completion. You may have thought that something was finished. Divine says there's just a little bit more to go. There's a little bit more to go before this cycle is complete, fully complete. But you're there. You're at the finish line. You may feel like you're being tested right now, but the experience that you're going through is bringing balance to you. It's helping you to achieve balance as you move forward to your next phase. Okay? Also, there's something very creative that you're working on. Divine says it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. They said it's heavenly. It's cosmic. It reaches through many different dimensions because I mentioned heavenly and then cosmic, so it's divine on all levels. That's another thing, is that the things that you create reach different aspects of people. It awakens their mental energy, it awakens their spiritual energy, it awakens their emotional connection. That's something that you have a gift for, is connecting with people emotionally and awakening something inside of them that has been stagnant, or that they have, I'm seeing them go shh. It's like people that you reach, or people that connect with your content, with your creations, whatever it is that you put out there, or that inspires you and that you're inspired by. It helps people to feel comfortable with something, a part of themselves that they've tried to hush. It helps them to celebrate a part of themselves that's so deep, but that's been buried. You know, it's like in the depth of their soul, but they've buried it under a lot of pain, under a lot of shame. You help people to feel proud of themselves. You awaken people to this really rich sense of pride, not arrogance, but acknowledgement of who they are. I'm hearing you're an awakener. I've never heard that word. I don't even think, is that a word? But here it is. We're gonna make it a word, okay? You're an awakener. I see you, it's like you're hooded, right? And you have a beautiful face. Like, that's all that you can really see other than your hood that you're wearing and your cape. But you have this beautiful, rich complexion, and your face shines, and you're going around, and as people are sleeping, you're tapping them and you're guiding them. Yeah, Divine says you're guiding them back to themselves, to their true self. For some of you, music is going to play an important role in what you do. Okay? You might create music. You might work with someone to create music for your the work that you do, or to help your work flourish. That's what I'm hearing. Like, music might not be front and center. For some of you it is. For some of you, you are a musician. But for others of you, you use music to complement the work that you do. For some of you, there's somebody that you're going to connect with that is going to be very instrumental. Oh, look, music instrumental in helping your work to flourish, because they're going to provide frequencies that help you channel healing energy. Okay? In your work. Thank you, Spirit. Anything else? Exchanging gifts. Yeah, so that's what this feels like. You might end up collaborating with someone. This could be on a project regarding music. Okay? That's what's coming through, is music. Also, it kind of, she's coming out of a box, but it kind of reminds me of do you call them a music box, or like the little boxes that you would wind up, and then, yeah, I'm vaguely seeing that in my mind's eye, but it's like one of those boxes that you would wind up and not a Jack in the Box, okay? But it's like a music box. It looks sort of like a little jewelry box, but it's very elegant, very beautiful. Divine says you're winding something up. It's like the energy is heating up. But from this experience, you're going to create something really sweet and beautiful. It's going to feel like a lullaby. It's going to be very soothing and very captivating. It's going to capture people's attention, but it's going to help awaken something inside them. That's really beautiful. Okay? At the bottom of the deck, we've got no place like home. Divine is saying to nurture your home space, your sacred space. Do something for your home that helps you to feel special. I'm getting essential oils, lighting. You might want to use some mood lighting. You might want to add something that you can play music on, whether it's a sound system or even just a little echo or something like that that you can place in your home to bring more music into your space. Okay? Okay, we've got Goddess and Saboteur here. There's someone who wanted to play with your creative energy. Oh, we've also got Healer and Detective. Wow, the combination though, Healer and Detective. Okay, so this is what I'm getting here. As a healer, you've grown so much in detecting sabotaging energies. Okay, because yes, I'm going back to this for a moment. There are people, and even for some of you, groups who have wanted to sabotage your goddess energy, your creative energy. And you could be a male or masculine, it doesn't matter, but your goddess energy, your creative, abundant, restful energy, someone has been trying to play in it. And I feel like this was for a whole phase, like a whole phase. For some of you, this lasted for years. But your healing energy is so strong. And something that Divine has helped awaken inside of you is this intuition. And it's intuition that's directed towards your protection. because you've always been very intuitive regarding your creative energy, regarding connecting with others. You've always been able to pick up on energies between you and other people, but you haven't necessarily done it in a way to defend yourself, because in many cases you didn't feel that you should have to defend yourself. And I get that. Okay, I love that Page of Cups type of energy, and I see that in you, where you just want to get along with people, you want things to be smooth, and you want to vibe high and just focus on that. And that's one of the many beautiful things about you, that through this whole process of this sabotaging energy, you have not lost that magic, okay? But Divine has awakened within you this ability to detect vibes of people around you that are trying to come at you in an aggressive way or in a sneaky way, 1111 on the timer, in order to protect your portals of creativity. So there are portals open all around you so that your creative energy can flow in. But Divine is equipping you and has equipped you through a recent experience you've been through with protective energy and with the ability to pick up on any sabotaging frequencies that would try to hinder your creative power. Okay, because we're not doing that. We're just not doing that no more. Okay, so as a healer, you have this sort of detective vibe where you're not wasting time, energy, and effort on anything, but you certainly are able to pick up on things, and you have good judgment. This has helped with your judgment of situations. You have experienced so many negative frequencies that because you've been exposed to it, it's kind of like a vaccination, you know, like when you get exposed to something and then your body, your immune system is able to recognize it and then fight that off. 1222 on the timer. This is about your very own protection and balance, and protection of your creative energy, protection of your healing energy, so that nobody can mess with it. Nobody can mess with it. Okay? Yeah, you've learned so much. You've learned so much. And there are people who are going to learn from you and how to equip themselves with these protective energies. But one of the most beautiful things about you is that you protect yourself in a way that does not hinder your growth. See, because some people protect themselves and they build a fortress, a wall, you know, they've got everything built up so that nothing can get in. And that's been the key, is building a wall of protection, but that also has maybe a couple windows in it. Maybe a doorway here or there, so that beautiful energy is still able to flow in. All right. Okay, they're saying the cards. What's coming through, Divine, for this beautiful being? You might be working with tarot. Okay. You might be a tarot reader. I know that you work with the energy within you and around you in some way, some form or fashion. But I'm getting that some of you are particularly drawn to tarot at this time. Divine is saying to remember to allow yourself to not only memorize the traditional meanings and symbolism of the cards, but also to allow yourself to sort of get lost in the cards. Find yourself by getting lost in the cards. Gaze into them, okay? See what you see, feel what you feel when you look into a card, and allow that to take you wherever spirit takes you. Also, a beautiful thing you can do is before you begin to divine and use your divination tools of any sort, if you use tools, is protect yourself prior to, so that you can let yourself travel and float and flow. Okay, Divine, what's coming through for this beautiful being? Control. Yeah, see, that goes right along with that saboteur energy. Someone wanted to control you. They wanted to control what you feel. They wanted to control what you see. They wanted to control what you have access to. What you have access to. Yeah, look, with this saboteur card, they're in a hot air balloon. Also, they wanted to fill your mind with a whole bunch of hot air, like a whole bunch of falseness, a whole bunch of falsehoods, so that you would believe false things about yourself. I'm hearing they didn't want you to like yourself because this saboteur does not like themselves. They wanted you to create your own booby traps. So this person wanted you to sabotage yourself. 15:55 on the timer. This person wanted you to create all of the wrong changes in your life. They wanted you, you know, I heard somebody today say, like, it's thousands of decisions that we make in a day. I mean, think about it, from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. It's true, right? I'm gonna sit up, I'm gonna put my feet on the floor, I'm gonna go right, I'm gonna, you know, whatever. It's thousands of choices that we make in a day. This person wanted you to make every single choice from a place of self-doubt, of worry, of anxiety, and fear. All based on an illusion. When this person met you, when this person first encountered your energy, they were taken aback. They didn't know who you were, but they felt something. They felt intimidation. They felt fearful. They felt intimidation. I didn't say they felt intimidated. I said they felt intimidation. It's like a spirit of intimidation came over them to project towards you. This wasn't about them feeling intimidated. They did feel intimidated, but they didn't want to project that. Immediately, 1717 on the timer, they sensed your star energy and they wanted to project fear and intimidation towards you. But what was at the heart of that? What was at the heart of that was that they felt intimidated. And so this is a person who uses very sadistic ways in order to gain control. A very sadistic personality here. They like to cause pain. They like to cause suffering. This is a person who in their childhood harmed animals and still does. They still do. They still do. This is a person who has run into a lot of friction as they have tried to break the law. Okay? Their sadistic ways have gotten them caught up with the law, and they don't want to go to jail. They're so afraid of going to jail. They're so afraid of being held responsible and being held accountable. So what they started to do was get into magic in order to create the change that they wanted to create, which was through sadism. This person sits around and fixates on very evil ways to harm a person. Ways to harm children, ways to harm anyone that they see as their competition. But it's ironic because the same people that they compete with, they worship, and they want to be just like them. So you may have encountered this person where they have fixated on you to the point where they stalked you. They want to be with you. They want to be you. But they also want to harm your life. And so it's this strange combination of hatred and desire. Okay. Yeah. What else, Spirit? Cancer. There could be a Cancerian involved here. You could have Cancer highly aspected in your chart, or this person could. But what I'm also getting here is that this person tried to impact your home. They wanted to impact your home, your family. And also I'm hearing everything that they did, they wanted it to hit home. Everything for them is it's about having a target. This is a hunter type of energy. There could be Sagittarius energy that's significant here, because with that hunter I'm seeing the bow and arrow. They're very miserable. This is a person who's very miserable, and that's where they wanted you in life. They wanted to sabotage every good thing in your world in order to bring you to a state of misery so that they could feel your star energy. They wanted to swap places with you. Yeah, okay, so we're talking about a dark triad, or dark triad traits here: Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. All right. They also may have sadistic traits, which I think they call the dark tetrad, I believe. You might want to research that, because I tell you one thing, it's through understanding that we heal. And when we encounter a being like this, it's very easy to, especially at first, go down a path of anger, which is natural and normal. And if we don't feel the anger, then usually we skip to trying to heal, and we have to go back to the anger because that's natural anyway. We're supposed to feel angry because a boundary has been broken, or in this case, it feels like many boundaries have been ignored and broken. But depending on how we process the anger, that can turn into hatred. Okay? And I think that even hatred can be temporary. And when it is, it's just something that we're processing. We temporarily hate, perhaps not the person, but we hate their choices. We hate what they choose to do. All right? But as we give ourselves time, and as we allow ourselves to continue on our walk with the divine and process these feelings, and instead of, in that moment where we feel like we hate someone, instead of punishing ourselves, I think the worst thing you can do is when you feel like you hate someone, like, don't, you know, because religion teaches us that. Oh, you can't hate anybody. Well, you know what? Maybe for a little while I can. And maybe that's natural and normal. And with time, and as long as I open up my energy to the healing that is there for me, that hatred will alchemize into understanding. And so that's why, studying the psychology behind a lot of these behaviors and traits and all can really heal. Understanding the psychology can heal us, because it allows us to see that, there is a struggle there. There is a person there who is imbalanced, or, if there were a scan taken of their brain, it probably wouldn't look quite right. You know what I'm saying? Like, having this understanding of the science behind it. And science aligns with magic anyway. It really does. So it all comes full circle, where when we allow ourselves to understand the psychology behind a person's behavior, we can then not make excuses for them, and certainly not allow them into our lives. Because this type of being right here should not be around anyone who's trying to heal or trying to create, or who's doing the important work that you're doing, because they would be very distracting. Especially since this person is stuck. They're stuck. They're not healing. They choose to be stuck and to remain there. But as far as your healing process, and I feel like you're already doing this. I feel like you're already understanding whatever it is that you need to understand. You're aligned. You're divinely aligned. Yeah, they've lost control. So this is about your success with this healing journey. Look, and it's green, which is in alignment with your fertile, creative energy. 2444 on the timer. Ashe. You have achieved balance and protection. And because you have done that, And because you have maintained your alignment with the divine, you're able to create. You're able to create. You're able to flourish because they have lost control over you. They tried it. They came in with all of this dark shit. Okay? All of it. And these are the types of personalities that we find in the prison system. And don't get me started on that because that's so sad. But, you know, this is the worst of the worst if we're looking at the energies that tend to destruct homes, communities, relationships, okay, causing destruction and terror. But you didn't allow that. You didn't allow any of this that you've witnessed and experienced in this being. You did not allow it to destroy you. And I commend you for that. And Spirit commends you for that. Truly, because it is not an easy thing. And you didn't allow hatred to overtake your heart. Okay? But this is so beautiful because, and the way I had placed it, it's right here with Judge. They lost control because Divine has called judgment on this being. They've called judgment on this being. Tell us more, Spirit. What does this beautiful being need to know? Yeah, you're able to see the differences between people. And it's not that, you know, because a lot of people are like, oh, love and unity. Yes, we must all become one. But there's a whole lot that divides us that we must understand and we must heal in order for us to become one. You don't just wake up, observe all the evil in the world and say, we are all one. No, we got to heal some shit. We got to understand why we're so different. And also those differences within ourselves. And as we heal within ourselves, we can heal within our homes and relationships and communities. All right? Also, I see that you are so gifted because you, it's like you're a being of light and a being of darkness. And I don't know how you'll take that, but because some people are like, oh, they're not the darkness. But, you know, it's like there's night and there's day. I'll just put it that way. There's both night and there is day. Both are very necessary and both are very beautiful. And with both, there's a path. And if we walk the dark path for too long or in too vigorous of a way, we're imbalanced. If we walk the path of the light, then we're out of whack and we're just too head in the clouds, not seeing the real shit that's there. So you are very balanced and you see everything that you need to see. With this here, obedience, this is where someone wanted you. Okay, and perhaps at a certain point in your life, you felt that you were walking with a blindfold on because you were allowing people to blind you from what you needed to see. You were walking the path that someone else wanted you to walk. But you've taken that blindfold off. And you have summoned your power. And you said, I'm going to create what I am divinely called to create. This is not about walking the path that someone else has walked. And at some points of our journey, that's a beautiful thing to do because we can follow the path of our ancestors for a while. That will serve us. But at some point, we get to the end of the trail. And all we see is like trees and shrubs and it's the end of the trail. It's the end of the path. Where do I go now? Or we're still going to go. But it's uncharted territory. And that's where you really summon your individuality. And you say, I am me. I am my ancestors, but I'm also me. And I feel like that's where you are now. So you have all the support that you need. You have all the support that you need. You have all of the passion that you need with this fire. You have all the protection. I'm seeing a fiery wall of protection around you that burns brightly. So bright. And so as you move forward on your unique individual path with the protection of your ancestors and your spirit allies and the divine itself, you're doing it. You're doing it with passion and with courage and with the awareness of every single thing that you've been through and with the awareness and protection of your ancestors. Everything they went through is now a part of your consciousness. You have so much ahead of you that is, I'm hearing, outstanding. It's something that you have not experienced in this life yet. It's something that your ancestors have not yet experienced because they're here to experience it through you. There's something you're leaving, you're walking away from. It's conflict. You got the Knight of Cups, the Hermit, the World. There is a cycle that has ended. The loose ends are being wrapped up. That's what I'm hearing. The loose ends are being wrapped up. This is like a return to yourself. That's what this journey was all about with the Knight of Cups and the Hermit. It's a return to yourself, to your true understanding of you. Having the strength and the power to say, I'm cutting out whatever bullshit is going on around me because I don't have time for it. That's not where I choose to put my energy and my effort. And this kind of stuff where, okay, so there's a Two of Cups, we've got King of Swords, Nine of Cups, Seven of Wands. So there's somebody who is trying to influence and impact and bother your Nine of Cups, your Two of Cups. With the King of Swords here, there's someone who has focus on you, clear vision, but there's someone who wanted to, and Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. Okay, this King of Swords could be you, but presented there with the Two of Cups, it really feels like an energy that has clear vision of what they want, of what they see, and it's you. They see you, they want you. And you've got a Nine of Cups here with that wish fulfillment. But there was conflict. Somebody wanted to battle. Somebody wanted to combat you because your life is just a little too beautiful for their ego, for their liking. They were uncomfortable with you. This is that energy that came through that saboteur, that person who wanted to come in and be sadistic and maniacal and do weird shit. Weird. And they wanted to do it on the low, and they wanted to do it in a very slick, sly way, but that could only last but so long. At some point, the darkness of their personality. See, darkness and light, they didn't have enough true light. They walk that dark path constantly. And as I just spoke about with that differences card, if you don't have balance, that's when shit gets really out of control and really ugly. And that's exactly what's happened with that person. They've lost control over your life, and they've lost control over the narrative that they have spun over and over and over again in their favor. They took your life, your relationships, your work, the work that you do, your healing gifts. They took all of that and put their narrative on it. They spun the narrative according to what they wanted to see and what fit with their ego. And they've spun everything just a little too hard. They went too hard on the dark path. And the karma that a person experiences when they do that, it's something that I would never want to feel. But see, that's why we walk a balanced path, okay? That's that's for them to handle. That's for them to work out. They're gonna have to work through that, because that's what they signed up for. They wanted to spin a narrative. They wanted to scheme and scam and lie and deceive. And so now they are receiving all of the backfires that come along with living their life in that way. This is something that they cannot run from. They cannot hide from. You know, they say you can run, but you can't hide, or something like that. They can't run or hide anymore. It's done. And so the good thing is that, you know, it's like with this Two of Pentacles. Oh, now see what I'm seeing here is that they were trying to bind themselves to you. They were trying to keep you in a state of limbo, because you made it through this Five of Swords and Seven of Wands, right? Where you experienced the conflict and you had to protect yourself. They wanted to keep you in a state of limbo with this Two of Pentacles and this Two of Wands. Here you're being seen as the Queen of Cups. You're intuitive, you're insightful, you're creative, you're kind, you're loving, you're nurturing. The beautiful thing about this is that after all of that, after all that's here, all of the conniving energy, the deceiving energy, all of that, you're still being shown as sweet, intuitive, kind, and loving, and nurturing. You never allowed your heart to become hardened by all of the ugliness that you went through. And with this Eight of Cups, you have emotionally disconnected, spiritually even, you know, because Cups is spiritual energy as well. Disconnected from these energies that try to hold you back. What does this mean moving forward, Divine? What does this beautiful being need to know moving forward? Communication. Sun in the third house, Gemini, I think you are intellectual. Your desires, you might desire a change of scenery. You might desire a change. Oh, you know, that came through at the beginning where I said, do something in your home, in your sacred space, where you're adding mood lighting or, you know, something. You might want to do something that has to do with communication. Well, I had said like maybe add an echo or a sound system or something like that where you can have music. I feel like music is really going to be a powerful conduit at this time for your transformation and for your continued healing. Okay, that came through at the beginning of the reading as well. You have acute mental agility. You have endless curiosity. You get a jump start on things, so you're never late, you're never behind. I'm getting that you're always right on time. You might think like, oh, I gotta rush, no, you're gonna be right on time. Things unfold for you as they should. Not necessarily when you expect them to, but as they should. You're adaptable, okay, and you're in the know. There are things that you know. You have access to information because you're tapped in, you're tuned in as the Queen of Cups here. You have the awareness. I'm hearing the gentle awareness that you need. So I feel like Divine is going to be communicating with you in a very soft way. This could be through your dreams. By soft, I'm getting like very spiritual, very high vibe. It could be through music messages, through your dreams, through whispers in your ear, okay? Because sometimes we get messages through people, okay? People send us messages. You pick up on conversations and things like that, but I'm hearing soft awareness. So it's going to be through spirit, okay? So nurture the sacred energy in your home, and allow things to just kind of flow in from the divine in the timing that's right. I'm hearing you don't need to push. You don't need to panic. It's all happening as it should. Patience. Patience. What else does this beautiful being need to know moving forward? Oh, you're going to have extraordinary experiences. You're inquisitive. You're a believer. You're dreamy. You're imaginative. And you're honest. Okay? Jupiter in the 12th house. You have supreme optimism. You're confident, generous. You have good fortune. There's a lot of blessings that you're going to manifest moving forward. And it's going to be through your creative efforts. Okay? Crisis of personal belief systems, continually driven to question, fracture, and break free of previous belief systems. Exactly. That's like where it came through, like where sometimes you may have been in the past walking the path of someone else or listening to what someone else said to do. But you've broken free and you've summoned your own path, your own connection with the divine. Okay? So this is also, I'm seeing a mirror. So the things that you do, the way that you live your life, the words that you speak, it has this effect of holding up a mirror to other people around you. And that can make them very uncomfortable because people do not like to see their truth. They love to see their lies reflected back at them. They love to see the benefit of the mask that they've been wearing. They want to see that pay off. But you're here to, I'm hearing, break shit up. And it's not the things that are built on stability and love that you're breaking. It's the things that are built on falseness, on wicked energy, on energy that's here to steal from others and to lie to others and to destroy others. That's what you're breaking down. And people don't like that. People love their little false worlds. They love to see their lies just going on and on and on. Lies that breed lies that breed lies. They love to even deceive themselves, and that's something that Divine is warning you of, is that a lot of the people that you are going to encounter, such as this person who was a saboteur, they love to believe their own lies. And you have some people who get stuck in a rut of mental illness because they have believed their lies for so long that they think that they are a completely different person and that other people are completely different. They've created their own world of deceit and trickery. And so when you hold up that mirror and you show their lies to them, it can cause such a shock for them that energetically they can't handle it. And so they 4414 on the timer, and so they stalk. They break the law, which is something that I'm getting, that there's an energy around you that they tried really hard not to break the law because that's the one thing they were so scared of, but they couldn't hold out anymore. Their wicked ways took them to, or down a path where the things they said they would never do, oh, they've been doing them. 4444 on the timer. You're protected. And so is your creative path. Your creative path is protected from this evil energy. And you're experiencing abundance. You're walking a true path of abundance. We've got collaboration at the bottom of the deck. You may find that there, oh yeah, that came through with the music at the beginning. Spirit is bringing this reading right back around with music and collaboration. You are full of grace. And that's very evident in this quest that you've gone on to conquer whatever demons you needed to understand and rise above, and also to completely fall in love with your truth, the truth of your path, of who you are and of what you are here to do, and being at peace with that and being grateful for that. That's grace. Being grateful for your purpose. You are so fully aware. Oh my. You've seen a lot of things, beautiful being. But as you've looked outside of you to gain understanding, you have also gained awareness of yourself. And so the work that you've done to repair and to understand and to mend and to let go of and to do whatever it was that Spirit was calling you to do at that time, it's all coming back to you. You are being rewarded for every bit of that effort that you've put into your path. Adventure. Get ready for an adventure, beautiful being. It's going to be wonderful. Don't forget, you are the awakener. I love that. I'm going to be seeing that visual for a long time, I think. You are the awakener. You awaken people to not only their truth, but their greatness, the beauty inside of them, and the abilities that they have, and their purpose. Ashe. All right, beautiful being. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am so grateful for you. And I'm so thankful that you tuned into this reading. I hope that it brought you good vibes and clarity, insight, and support. I love you. And I wish you peace. I wish you joy. And so many blessings. Take care.